All right, guys, I've had roughly now around 6 hours now since I've seen Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And I've had a little bit more time to kind of take in a little bit more things. And I actually got a little bit of sleep. Not much, but I did get some sleep. And now I think it's time to start answering specific questions about this movie, because there's so many questions that you're going to be asking yourself. And one of the questions I think that is most important, considering this is a saga movie and that these movies with the episode numbers are supposed to be about the Skywalker family. My question is, in this movie, where are the Skywalkers? Where are they? This movie is called The Rise of Skywalker. But in the end, and just for full clarity, there's full spoilers in this video right here. So if you haven't seen the movie, you may want to click off right now. Just saying. The movie's called The Rise of Skywalker, but it doesn't really feature the Skywalker family. Yeah, sure, Kylo Ren is a Skywalker, but in all honesty, this movie and this entire trilogy is Weekend at Palpatine's. It's all about the Palpatines. But I guess they needed the Skywalker name to get people to buy tickets, because they said this is the conclusion of a 9-movie arc about the Skywalker family. And really, this sequel trilogy was never about the Skywalkers. The Skywalkers were used to basically sell tickets. It was a marketing ploy, and people bought into that. Rey, spoiler alert again, is not a Skywalker. She never was. I know a lot of people were thinking that maybe she could be. Some people thought she was a Kenobi because Obi-Wan tells her in Force Awakens, this is your first steps. And she's not a Kenobi. She is Sheev Palpatine's granddaughter. And this movie was supposed to be the conclusion of the Skywalker family. So you're thinking maybe they would feature this family. It didn't happen. I mean, Leia is barely in the movie, and we know Carrie Fisher passed away, so there's only so much that they can really do with her. Mark Hamill as Luke, our hero who was killed off in The Last Jedi. He's in one scene in this movie on Octu, and he shows up at the end as a Force ghost. He has nothing to do with this movie. Nothing. Honestly, to tell you the truth, they could have cut out his scenes in this movie completely, and it wouldn't have made a difference whatsoever. Luke was just thrown in there because people were so mad with his demise in The Last Jedi. J.J. Abrams had to bring him back just to retcon The Last Jedi. That's the only reason why he was brought back. The only reason. And in a way, J.J. Abrams actually ends up retconning his own movie. The Rise of Skywalker does cause trouble with The Force Awakens, because in The Force Awakens, it was all about, we need to find Luke. He is the last Jedi. We need the Jedi back. But we find out in this movie that Leia was actually a Jedi. Luke trained her. Luke even said in the movie there's a flashback scene where him and Leia are dueling, and the CGI looks terrible on their faces. It just does. He said it was her last day of training. So she was fully trained. If she was a Jedi and Luke walks away, why didn't they just go to Leia to rebuild the Jedi? They needed it back. That's a problem right there. And of course, you know what Rian Johnson did with Luke. He made him quit once he's found on the island. He wanted nothing to do with it. It's such a freaking mess. The Skywalkers were never, ever wanted by Disney. They wanted to do their own thing. And what they have to realize is, in the end, Palpatine wins. He wins the finale of the Skywalker saga because there are no more Skywalkers. They're all dead. All of them. All of them. I mean, Palpatine gets killed himself, but Palpatine ends up destroying all of the Skywalkers. Even through Rey, because Rey is his granddaughter. Another flaw of this whole Skywalker thing, Kylo Ren, he actually turns back into Ben Solo relatively early, I would say. Not necessarily early in the movie, but a lot sooner than what I thought he would turn into Ben Solo once again, aka a Skywalker again. Because, Vader was his grandfather. And he has this whole interaction with Harrison Ford once again as Han Solo, which I'm surprised that he actually came back and did that scene. It's new stuff that was being said. I'm surprised he came back. But anyway, once he turns back into Ben Solo, he doesn't say a word. Not the rest of the movie. He doesn't say a word. And they go in there with Palpatine and he pretty much gets pushed around. The Skywalkers were so disrespected. They almost had nothing to do with the demise of Palpatine. Honestly, he didn't have to be in that throne room with Rey. Rey still was going to defeat Palpatine no matter what. Actually, Palpatine was already dead. Ben Solo had zero to do with it. So the only Skywalker left had nothing to do with the demise of Palpatine. But he did bring Rey back to life because her killing Palpatine ended up killing her. The Skywalkers, in all honesty, were just worthless in this movie. Their overall story arc meant nothing. And you can't tell me that it was always the intention of Leia to be a Jedi, because Leia is training Rey in a weird kind of way because that footage really did not fit. The Leia footage was not fit for a Jedi training scene. It just wasn't. And it was very, very obvious. George Lucas had his story treatments for 7, 8, 9. It's on record. He was on camera. Bob Iger has even admitted that George Lucas felt betrayed when they found out they weren't using his story treatments for 7, 8, 9. But Kathleen Kennedy says that nothing existed from George Lucas for 7, 8, 9. A complete lie. A complete lie. The Skywalker family has been disrespected. George Lucas has been disrespected. The fans of George Lucas movies have been disrespected. And in the end, the Skywalker name has been disrespected. So in the end, the Rise of Skywalker is all about Rey just taking the family name. That's it. Because she goes to Tatooine, to the Lars homestead. I don't know how she found it. And she buries Luke and Leia's lightsaber. And this old lady just walks by and says, "There's been nobody here for so long. Who are you?" "I'm Rey." Force ghosts of Luke and Leia show up. Rey Skywalker. And of course, the old lady gets a little bit personal before she says Rey Skywalker. She's like, well, like Rey who, That's what it is. It's all about her adopting the Skywalker name. Nothing more. This movie had nothing to do with the Skywalker family. This trilogy had nothing to do with it. I know I'm sounding like a broken record. This was a train wreck. I hate this movie. I hate it because it destroys the Skywalker family, their name. It's disrespectful to George Lucas. I know there's going to be people out there that like it, you know, for what it is, but this movie did not combine all 9 movies into one. This was the Palpatine story. In other words, the whole saga then is about the Palpatines in the eyes of Disney. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Where were the Skywalkers? This trilogy, do you think it was about the Skywalkers? I don't think so. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.